Hello, and welcome back to Attorney Advertising 101. I'm John from White Raven Technology, and in this video, I'll be telling you about remarketing advertising. The purpose of this video and article is to give you, the attorney, a general understanding of what remarketing is and when and how it might be useful for your firm. I won't be discussing the hands-on aspect of creating remarketing campaigns. That's a deeper topic and will be covered in depth in a future series. So, if you're ready to learn all about remarketing, let's get to it. The first thing to discuss is what remarketing advertising actually is. To begin with, you've probably experienced remarketing as a consumer. Have you ever visited a website or viewed an item in an e-commerce store, then started seeing ads for that website or product on Facebook, other websites you browse, and so forth? That's remarketing in a nutshell. The way it works is that the advertiser signs up with a remarketing platform, and we'll discuss the top platforms for remarketing shortly, and then places what we tech people call a pixel, or small bit of programming on various pages on their website. Then, when someone visits the advertiser's website, the pixel fires and sets a cookie on the consumer's computer, letting the ad platform know that there's been a visit and we now have someone to remarket to. That ad platform will then show your remarketing ads to that user on whatever other sites are available to it. If it's a social network, that's the ad platform, your visitor will see the ads on that network. Otherwise, the visitor will see them on any other websites that the ad platform has partnered with as publishers. The next thing to talk about is what makes a good use case for remarketing. First, you probably don't want to run remarketing ads to every single person who visits your website. Most of them, by far, are just browsing and are unlikely to make good leads to pursue. So what we generally do is set up pixels on landing pages for the other ads you might run. For example, if you're running an ad that offers an ebook on the top 10 considerations in planning for your estate, that requires a user to submit their name and email address to receive the ebook, you might put a special pixel on the confirmation page after they've submitted their information. You can then set up remarketing ads that will offer further useful information or a free case evaluation to anyone who has already committed enough to give you their email address. This can be a lower touch way to continue fostering a relationship with the potential client without reaching out to them directly by email or phone. It's also key that you know they're a more qualified lead because they've already shown enough interest to download an ebook you've offered. You'll waste a lot less time and money pursuing leads like these with remarketing than you would by targeting anyone who ever visits your website. There are lots of other tricks for isolating the users that are more likely to become clients, but just use this general rule of thumb in most cases. Is the page that I'm setting a pixel on likely to be one that would indicate someone who is genuinely interested in my services? Think like your target client, and your remarketing efforts, and all of your marketing efforts for that matter, will be much more effective. I mentioned that there are several remarketing platforms available, so let's talk about those now. The first platforms you'll probably be exposed to are built directly into the Facebook, Google AdWords, and Twitter platforms. With these, you'll have native options to set up retargeting campaigns, and in simple scenarios, this is what we do and recommend. You'll be able to create audience segments like we mentioned, people who convert on an ebook offer or view a certain services page, and then create ads just like the normal cost per click or cost per mille ads you created to reach visitors directly. But this time, they'll only be shown to the people you know are interested to at least some degree. But creating remarketing campaigns on each of these potential networks can be daunting and time-consuming, and that's why we like the next two platforms we'll mention. If you'd like to have more reach with less work, you can look to a platform like Perfect Audience, our favorite, or AdRoll. With these platforms, you'll just have one interface to deal with in setting up remarketing campaigns for Facebook, Twitter, and across the web. You'll have fewer pixel codes to manage, reports to run, and data sources to keep track of to ensure your remarketing campaigns are effective and profitable. You might find that Twitter does great, Google's okay, and Facebook gives you no return, or any other combination of the three, and so wouldn't it be easier to be able to scale up or down the campaigns and platforms that you want to adjust from one place? Remarketing is a marvelous new tool in any firm's arsenal. It will allow you to identify, re-engage, and gently nudge prospective clients that you would have lost to the vastness of the internet otherwise. If you're serious about digitally marketing your legal services, and especially if you're serious about maximizing the return on your investment, you cannot ignore remarketing advertising. Well, that does it for this week's entry on remarketing. I hope you've got a better understanding of what remarketing is and whether and where to get started with it in your own campaigns. As with all of our other videos in this series, we'll be building more videos and articles at a later date to illustrate how to actually use these various platforms, so stay tuned for those. As always, if you have any questions or comments, let us know in the comments section on the article or on our social profiles. We'd love to chat. And I hope you'll join us for the next and last video in the Attorney Advertising 101 series, Budgeting and Your Future Success. Until then, happy marketing.